What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to another episode of the Top 5 series here in FM20. Today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 teams to manage. Hopefully you do enjoy this one. Of course, feel free to check out the series playlist down below. Drop a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new around here, and well, without further ado, let's get into this. So, coming in at number 5 in this top 5 countdown, we of course have AC Milan. As you can see on screen here, a club founded 120 years ago, but well, in the recent kind of history, the last 5 or 6 years, they really have struggled, finishing as low down as you can see here as 10th back in 2015. In recent years, recovery has occurred with 5th place last year, but still missing out on continental football, and that's really going to be the challenge, I feel like, to bring it to Milan. A team steeped in history, expectations are going to be high. Of course, they sacked their manager in real life this year, so another perhaps factor to consider is the fact you are not necessarily going to be given time to turn things around. Donnarumma, the key player and definitely the hot prospect in this team, the 20-year-old Italian international goalkeeper, a player who hopefully you can keep on for the foreseeable future. Has 2 years left on his current contract, however, and while the big dogs in Europe are going to be sniffing around if you do struggle to get success initially. On top of that, they have got some money to spend and pretty good potential transfer targets. They've got £22.5 million in the bank, a little bit on the wages, just £6,000, but a team with some very exciting young players. You look at the likes of Lucas Paqueta, the young Brazilian, a very, very good player, the 21-year-old, also, of course, playing for the Brazil national team. They've also got the young Pole Piatek up top in the striking position. With his 18 finishing, he could potentially be a lethal striking option. And with this squad, there really are the pillars to build success. And you as manager, your main job really is going to be just continuing that upwards trajectory to hopefully challenge at the top of the Serie A table. So coming in at number 4, we have Ajax, a team who, well, in recent years, and especially in the most recent Champions League year, had a tremendous campaign, reaching the semi-finals, of course. And, well, the team has been plucked apart over the summer. With that said, you are going to have £67 million to spend, so that money that's been taken away, certainly there to be reinvested. Of course, you've got the likes of De Jong and De Ligt moving on, and in their absence, well, not a whole lot of players have been added in. Players like Quincy Promes have been added to their ranks. Of course, with Ajax, a big feature is going to be the youth setup here, really having a focus, I guess, on developing the young under-19 squad that has some very, very good prospects. Kasim Werjo is one of those players, the young Dutchman you can see here, a tremendous prospect, 18 determination, a very, very versatile defender. And another player to have your eyes on is Nassi Unuvar, who is a Dutch left winger. You can see here at 16 years old, he just looks absolutely superb. So yeah, the next generation is coming through. Obviously, Champions League success is going to be a tall order here. You are one of the big teams in the Eredivisie. A big, I think, focus of this save game is going to be upping the profile of the Dutch football, in Europe, hopefully helping out your country compatriots and, well, making the Dutch league one of the big forces in Europe and, well, going one better than Ajax managed to do last year by reaching the final of the European Championship. So coming in at number 3, I've got a club that you've probably not thought of. I've done a lot of teams here that I'm sure you might have been considering. We're going to a league I've never managed in before, the Nordic Bet Liga, and having a look at Vella Football Club. They are a team that were relegated from the to the second division of the Danish Football League, but a team really tipped to bounce back immediately. They are one of the few clubs in the Danish Football League with absolutely tremendous facilities, some of the best young ones in the nation. You can see here, great youth facilities and good training facilities. They are a very big fish in a rather small pond, dare I say it, in the second division. If you look at the league preview here, you can see they are one of the favourites, really tipped for promotion, although looking at the Media Dream 11, there is quite a lot of variety here. Vella's defence is really where they shine. They've got Greve here, who is a young Danish centre-back, looks very, very good, a good player with the ball at his feet for this kind of level. Alongside him as well, they've got Ayala, who is a 30-year-old Finnish player, international as well, you can see here, with 26 caps. The interesting thing with this team is they've got a lot of money to spend as well, particularly compared to teams around them. £500,000 in transfer budget, £12,000 in excess in the wage budget, and, well, you've got to think that they're going to be looking to get promoted to the 3F Superliga, of course, when you come into the top division of Denmark. Some very big clubs here, including the likes of Midtjylland and also FC Copenhagen. And it's going to be a challenge to become one of the big dogs here. I feel like this is a longer-term save, that initial goal of, I guess, national dominance, and then following on from that, seeking out big European success, working your way up, qualifying for the Euro Cup, then taking it that one step further, and over the course of a number of decades, hopefully peaking and becoming one of the big superpowers of European football. Coming in at number 2 here, guys, we have Lyon, a club who, well, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll already be familiar with. They play in the French top tier, a team whose media prediction is second, and a team with a hell of a lot of potential. Now, I have to get the shameless plug out of the way straight away. I managed these guys last year in my series Lyon Live, over 100 episodes strong, so they were always going to have a little bit of a soft spot in my team. But the one player who I really want to draw your attention to is this guy, Amion Gouiri. He is a French 19-year-old. You can see here a breakthrough prospect and a player who looks like an absolutely exceptional attacking talent. He was good last year, but he started with an injury which I felt like always impacted his development. This year in Football Manager, though, he looks absolutely superb. Of course, with you playing in France, there's always going to be the ongoing challenge of taking on the likes of PSG and Monaco. Lyon do have a little bit of money to help you on your way, though, £27 million and also £45,000 free on the wage budget. You can see here, if we look at the season preview in Ligue 1, it is a league dominated by PSG players, but one solitary ray of hope. Memphis Depay out on the left-hand side, Lyon's real key man as far as I'm concerned, at 25 years old. The Dutch player, a player who you can really expect big things from, cutting in from that left-hand side, potentially utilising that new inverted winger role as well. And Lyon are a club with a hell of a lot of youth. It goes beyond Gouiri. There are players like Houssam Aouar who's in there, various other young players like Moussa Dembélé too. Of course, your facilities are great. So if you're a person who really enjoys developing players, using the youth facilities to, get that next generation of homegrown talent, definitely a team that I recommend you check out. Again, like I mentioned, I managed them last year. I am a little bit biased, but in all honesty, it was one of the most fun saves I had last year. And if you're even considering managing them in FM20, I can't recommend it enough. And coming in at number 1, guys, we have FC Union Berlin, a German club for the first time ever playing in the Bundesliga following their promotion to the top flight of German football last year. A club with not the longest of histories, but with a very interesting history at that. So you can see here, many years ago, back in 2001-2002, they finished 6th, and this same season they finished runner-up in the German Cup. With that, they reached the UEFA Cup despite being a second division team. Despite that, not the best of success, and following a double relegation, they found themselves languishing in the 5th tier of football. The chairman at the time decided to keep the club semi-professional. He knew he had 1 year to see them have success, and success they certainly had, and they started this road to recovery that has taken way over a decade at this point. Of course, they are going to be meeting up against Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga this year, which will be the first time ever in Bundesliga history that a Berlin derby has taken place, which is, well, crazy to think of when you think of, the different matches that happen, say, with the Madrid side, with various clubs in London and England. To think that in the German capital there has never been a derby like this. They are massive underdogs as well. If we look at the season preview, they are languishing right down in 17th, joint with the likes of Paderborn and Dusseldorf as favourites for the drop, 1,000 to 1 to win the table. This is going to be a battle against all odds. A few familiar names in this team, though. I guess Subotic is a player who to many will be recognisable. The Serbian international, you can see here, one of the big important players, joined from St Etienne in the summer on a free transfer. This is a club with a very, very passionate fan base, and, well, you are going to be pretty much the ultimate underdogs. You're not going to have the money of the other teams in your league. You have got some okay facilities, I guess, as a starting point, but they are going to need long-term investment if you are to challenge at the top of German football. But, well, I guess here they've had that road to recovery. They've got to the Bundesliga. Your job as manager is going to be to take them one step further following their stadium rebuild, which you can see here happened in 2020 and is very much in progress right now. So yes, an interesting club. For that reason, they are my number 1 pick. If you're looking to play in Germany, maybe you enjoyed it last year with the Bundesliga being newly added. Certainly a fresh and interesting save to do, and one that I think could be very, very rewarding, really instating Union Berlin as a powerhouse, both in the capital of Germany, but also of the whole of German football. Anyway guys, that wraps up this top 5 countdown of the top 5 teams to manage. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, do drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new around here. If you've got a team that you think should have been in this list, leave it down in the comments. I would love to see them. Of course, if there's any here that piqued your interest, go check them out when FM20 drops in the near future. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time for another one of my top 5 countdowns. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.